Eddie's very good at putting the cat amongst the pigeons, so that's the business side of it. You're asking the wrong person.
Pro boxing fans here in London, your call, the Friday before the Saturday of fight night, breakthrough event for Boxer Sky Sports. First of all, Johnny Nelson, how are you?
I'm good. I said yesterday, it's odd being here when there's no fighting here, there's no fans here. I remember boxing Lou Gent here actually back in the day, and it was absolutely corked. So your call, you know what, says it. He says it all.
Let's talk about this card. Breakthrough it is. It's like a next-gen card for the younger fighters to get through. It's got Vidal Riley on it, who's on his way up and looking to sort of put attention to that division. But talk to me about Caroline, Vidal, and how important these sort of cards are for the progression of the prospects going forward.
I think it's an excellent platform for prospects coming through because, again, this is kind of sliding under the radar, but these guys and girls have got to put themselves in a position where they're ready for when they're on the big stage, when the spotlight's just on them. Caroline it's not just about the opponent, it's about the responsibility of being a headliner, it's the responsibility of not being able to slip under the radar and just be on the undercard. So that's a different kind of pressure, and it does affect fighters in one way or another. Either lifts them and makes them more confident, or makes them shell away and think, I don't really want this spotlight. Caroline's a sort of fighter that loves this. She's the sort of fighter that I think this will make her an even better fighter. Potentially, to me, she's got heir apparent written all over her. So that's a done. So it's just how she deals with being the main focus. In regards to Vidal Riley against Qualis, I think it's a great fight. Lisa. I think on paper, Qualis is probably Vidal's toughest test on paper as a professional fighter, and so it'll be a good indicator for us to try and assess where Vidal stands on a domestic level. And after this, it's for the English title. I wouldn't be surprised if he was in there to box the winner of Lowell and Chamberlain. But good fight. It's a really good fight.
Caroline Dubois, she's the one that's going to take hold of that torch and take it over the Katie Taylors and everyone else right now. So far she's getting rave reviews. But do you feel like she's the woman that's going to take the torch away?
Yeah, without a doubt. I think she reminds me of those fighters that, even though they're young, they're inexperienced, and they look at the peers that are above them and they rate them. They're still looking at them. I rate you, but I want to fight you. She's one of them. She wants to leapfrog everybody that's in front of her, Michaela Mayer, Natasha, everybody. And if they were in her division, she'd want to walk through them. And it's a natural progression of how I'd potentially see her career going, to be that new next superstar.
Do you want to move away from this event and talk about boxing in general? We saw the return of Conor Benn last weekend in Orlando. Just your thoughts on the whole situation right now. I know they're going through an appeal right now to get Conor fighting in the UK, and they want to make that Eubank fight. I spoke to Eddie yesterday, he wants it in the UK. But what do you make of the situation? It's still, a lot of people are still talking about how he can fight abroad, but at the moment, clearing his name is the sort of statement being used.
This is speculation upon speculation is going to happen, but in reality, you've got to think this. Let them deal with that side of it. The argument's gone. Everybody has their opinion on if he should box, if he shouldn't box, and if he's guilty, if he's not guilty. Let's look at the performance. The performance after being out so long, I thought his performance was good, and even before taking away what's happened, even before all that, I've said he's emerging to be one of the most talented fighters, development-wise, that I've seen for quite a while. And I think Saturday night he did it again. I think why are you complaining that he didn't stop the guy? He did a good job in getting the shots off, to say being out of the ring for so long. So I liked what I saw when you're looking at the boxing. I like the way he carried himself and got on with the job, the menacing vibe he's carrying around him. So that's a good one. So you're looking on the performance, and so he's just got to, let everybody else deal with the business side of it. Let everybody else deal with the arguing and everything. That cloud's always going to be over him. But let's look on the performance, because there's nothing you or I can say that's going to make a difference to the outcome of what's happening. The one thing I will say is this: guilty or not,
Drugs do not make you a better fighter. They don't. I've boxed 3 drug cheats and beat them. Drugs might make you stronger, might make you faster, might make you last longer, might help you lose weight, but they do not give you an Einstein boxing IQ. Drugs don't do that, and so don't think you take your gear for the advantage. It might give you a physical advantage in that aspect, but when it comes to boxing, never in a million years. It doesn't work like that.
On the same night, Joe Joyce faced Zhilei Zhang in the rematch. A few things come out after this, and one of the things is Tony Bellew saying that, listen, Joe Joyce's punch resistance seems to have gone. It seems to have gone, and even if he faces a British champion at this present time, he won't beat him because his biggest asset was his punch resistance. Do you agree with that?
I've got to go but quickly. I agree with Tony if that is the right, because Joe Joyce gets hit far too often. If that is right, or he just maybe came across his bogeyman, that big southpaw, that bigger version of him southpaw that can hit hard, that can take a shot, and that's why he got broke down. So we can't really tell that and be able to answer that until after his next fight, and then we'll see.
Johnny, let's carry this on after your little bit, yeah? All right. Johnny Nelson, just picking up the interview from where we took off. We were talking about the whole Joe Joyce and Zhilei Zhang. You gave your responses in regards to Tony Bellew's comments about his punch resistance being gone. Another question I want to ask you about that is Zhilei Zhang and Anthony Joshua. There seems to be this talk about people saying, let's get AJ in there with Zhilei Zhang. Eddie Hearn saying, listen, no chance. AJ's too far ahead for him. Froch is saying, though, the old AJ would have beaten him. This new AJ, this AJ that we're in current era, doesn't beat Zhilei Zhang. Do you agree with Carl?
Listen, a lot of AJ fans worry about this version of AJ that's out there because he's overthinking a lot of things. I think. Do I agree with Carl? No. Do I agree with Eddie? Yes. Why would AJ fight him? I think Zhang is outside the top 4. He'll not beat any one of them. But I think AJ needs to be looking forward instead of looking back. Well, what does he gain out of that? He doesn't prove anything. He doesn't establish anything. And so I totally agree with Ed and think, why bother?
Do you want to talk about sort of other things in boxing? I'm not sure if you've seen Dana White's had a sort of a go at Stephen Espinosa and Showtime, because there's rumours that Showtime in the US are going to pull the plug on boxing. And Eddie sort of spoke about that in the US on boxing. So Eddie sort of spoke about that, saying, listen, the reason why that's happened is because numbers haven't hit the figures. They're a big broadcaster, and there's a situation in the UK that's similar. Now, he's not said any names, but people are putting 2 and 2 together and saying, listen, maybe it's Boxer and Sky Sports. Is that the situation where you feel like, is that what he's trying to allude to, that Boxer and Sky Sports, you're not getting the figures in, we could see maybe the collapse of that possibly?
Eddie's very good at putting the cat amongst the pigeons.
He's not said it though, he never said no name. When you got asked, he did say that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So clever guys like you start putting 2 together, might become up with 18. But Eddie's very good at putting the cat amongst the pigeons. So that's the business side of it. You're asking the wrong person, you're my brother. You ask me about fighting, I'll talk to you all night about that. But that side of it, I'm keeping my ass out of that.
Let's talk about a fight that's actually been announced. Devin Haney, Regis Prograis. Good fight, that. Good fight. Talk to me about that one.
Prograis, he's familiar over here in the UK, the fans remember him, but Devin Haney, I think that's a done deal for Devin. Good fight. It's both names that you're very familiar with and you know about. Prograis thinking, you know what, I can grab some of this limelight back again, but Haney, I think Haney is moving in the right direction, doing the right thing, and he's picking the right opponents to grab the attention.
Finally, before I let you go, we saw Anthony Yard on Sky Sports on the podcast, talked about the whole Dan Aziz Joshua Buatsi thing, and there seems to be initial discussions, not official talks with Queensbury about a fight. How much does it excite you that we will finally get possibly get to see Anthony Yard face Joshua Buatsi or Dan Aziz?
I like that, and I like the fact that it's come out of the lion's mouth instead of coming through a third party. So Yard saying, I want that fight. It's like me coming in your living room and sitting there and using your TV and saying, I want to fight you. And like, well, he's come to Sky and done that. I'm like, damn. So if that's not a call for war, nothing is. And so for Dan and for Joshua Buatsi, they know the next fight that can happen. Ben said he wants to happen. They can sit down and have a conversation, get this done. And to me, that's
that's got pay-per-view written all over it. It has, because I think it's a really, really good fight. I know maybe in the back of everybody's mind you're thinking it's probably going to be Joshua Buatsi in there with Yard. That's a fight they've been chomping for quite a while. But that is not a done deal. Don't write off Dan, because Dan is a proper developing soldier, where he's always been underestimated and got himself into the position he's at now. So don't be surprised if the landscape changes a little bit.
He talks about pay-per-view there. We're talking about British boxing right now, and it seems to be that we're in a bit of a lull in regards to finding these stars. After Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury, we go down the list. Obviously, Eddie wanted Conor Benn to be there. At the moment, there's a whole cloud surrounding there. On Sky, I'm not sure right now who the pay-per-view star is or who the star is. There is a few upcoming, and I think that's the same with Frank Warren. In your eyes, who do you feel like's going to break through and break that barrier to become this pay-per-view star?
There's so much talent that's out there, and people are very fickle. So your opinions of a fighter or a fighter's reputation can change in a heartbeat. We've seen it with Tyson Fury. Now people's opinions changed from many years ago. It may change about Conor Benn, believe it or not. It may change about many fighters out there. You look at the young talent that's coming through. You look at the likes of Caroline Dubois. You look at the likes of Shannon Ryan. You look at the likes of his fight for the IBF title on Saturday. Thompson. There are fighters that are not household names, but these fighters will eventually be the ones you think you might be our lead star.
Final one before I let you go. Francis Ngannou did a workout, and John Fury saw that and said, "Listen, I hope this is kidology. I hope he's messing about here, because if not, Tyson Fury is going to knock him out. It's going to be the quickest knockout in Tyson's career." Did you get to watch that workout? What did you make of it?
I watched the workout. I think Tyson's going to knock him out anyway. But regardless of what information or what advice he's getting, I think Tyson Fury is doing a good job in getting paid with good money for fighting a guy that's never had one professional fight. So he's a prize fighter. He's done his job, and so he's making as much dough as possible. And the thing is, we might slag the fight down, but anybody would do that. If you're a fighter and you think, I want to get paid the most with the least amount of risk, you're going to do it. And then deal with business after that. So I think with John Fury kicking off about it, talk's talk. He's got to get the conversation going.
Johnny Nelson, always a pleasure talking to yourself. Normally, I bring some good snacks and I feed you some good snacks. Today, you bought some really boring ones.
Big biscuits in my bag for you, or some nuts, but you want junk food and like.
Yeah, I'm not junk food. Have you seen my body's a 10?
Wait, you don't look pregnant anymore, so what done?
Johnny Nelson, it's always a pleasure talking to yourself, mate, and I'll speak to you soon, top man.
Thanks.